And if you're auditioning for a soap opera, you better get the size because they're usually 12, 14, 15 pages long. And the writing is some of the worst writing you're ever going to read. Your brain refuses to memorize it. So you better get that 2 days ahead of time and really make it yours and really study it. I've done 2 soaps and the writing is really difficult to memorize. Because the beats are all off and they don't make sense and they're extremely redundant and then you get lost. It's too much repetition. So you really soap operas are some of the hardest shows to do.
Yeah. Pete, what about yourself?
You're talking about auditions or when you get the job?
Auditions.
I pretty much do what Leo does. I make it my own. I always, if it's a comedy or even if it's a really dark, dramatic character, I make the audition my own by finding something in the beginning and finding a button, a line that's not there. If I'm comfortable with it, because that's my audition, that's that character's moment, and it's out of context from the rest of the script.
Right.
So if you want to show who this guy really is, and you're not going to get the last word on him, you're going to get the last word on him because you're a guest star when he shows up on the set, but not in the audition. The audition is yours. So you construct that beginning, you construct some business, and I'm telling you, even with comedy too, I have 2 or 3 optional lines, and when I get to the end of that scene, however I'm feeling, one comes to me and I do it. And I've never, ever had a problem with that. The difference is when you walk on a set, depending on who you're working for, and depending on your station in this business,
hierarchy.
I don't think any of us really has to worry about, a contraction here or anything else, or can talk to a director right now and say, this is not coming out of my mouth right when we're on the set, and they're good with us. But a new kid, get the words the way they got them. Just so then if the director comes up to you and says, hey, is there a problem? No. I just, I'm thinking this, and he goes, oh, well, okay, try it that way then. But you have to bring to the set, you have to bring their words to the set. But for the audition, that's yours.
I want to add something to what Peter said. When you're doing the work and doing the show, you really, really, really need to be off book and know it, because you'll get script changes, especially in TV, right there after lunch. And Pete, you've been involved with those shows, especially with that camp. I've had the pleasure of working with and directing Leo and Peter. They both come prepared. They know their lines inside and out. So if I say, hey, let's try it this way, piece of cake. I want to give you an example what I threw Peter into up in Rhode Island, and it wasn't fair to him. I was doing a round table. You remember this on Jesus, Mary, and Joey. I was doing a round table of 8 guys talking. It was like an 10-minute scene. Now, how do you make a 10-minute scene flow? I built a choo-choo train around the table, complete, so the camera could just circle and circle and circle. And then I got in tighter with a lens and circle and circle. Now I'm filming film. It wasn't HD back then. So now I've got to go inside the table, and I've got to remove the guys, and I've got to do their close-ups with nobody there, because I've got to circle around them. And there wasn't the rest of the guys there. I did not have on the close-ups enough film for 8 guys to do an 8-minute scene or a 10-minute scene 2 or 3 times for close-ups. That would have been like way too much money in film. So I said to the actors, I only want you to deliver your lines that you said in that 10-minute scene. Remember who you said it to, because I'm on you like this. Now, 4 or 5 of the guys were like, what? What do I? Pete and Kenny Lerner, because they were so technically advanced, schooled, they studied, piece of cake. Got the camera on Pete, bum, bum, boom, bum, 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 before you know it, it was done. Let's go one more time, Pete, done. With no other actors feeding them lines, they remembered where they were. 4 or 5 of the other guys stumbled all over the place, including our friend. Including our friend.
BC.
Robert?
Yes.
Robert can't match his ass. He cannot match his ass. He takes a drink here, they do the same, take us the other hand.
He had a panic attack. He had a panic attack. On Ronnie, Pete, this is crazy. I've never been asked to do this before.
That is hysterical.
I know we're running. We're sort of running out of time here, but I just have a couple quick questions that I want to throw out. You guys have been on hundreds of movie sets, in television or film. You're doing your scene. The director says, "Okay, Pete, Leo, Jamie, we're doing your close up." You do your scene. Do you do that scene the same way all the time? Okay, and Jamie, you can comment on this. Do you do that scene the same way all the time, or do you vary it a little to give the director a different look, maybe a different take? And I just wanted to know how you guys as actors take that, and Jamie, how you as a director. But because we as actors, we do that scene over and over, and they're working on the light and this. But I want to know as actors, because sometimes I'm on the scene and I'm like, maybe I should be giving them a little different. What, Leo?
Well, yeah, the thing, Brando went to his grave trying to capture spontaneity, which is so tough in acting because you got to do it again and again and again. My take is that when you do a take and you hear print, now you know they got that in the can. Right. So I'm not saying you got parameters, but within those parameters, you change it up a little bit. You got that one, and you change it, not to the detriment of the other actor. You're going to do a whole nother performance. No, but those subtle little changes within,
Gotcha.
that, I think it keeps it fresh for you, and I think it works. I don't know, Peter.
I think you, like Leo says, you hear print, you're locked into blocking. You're locked into certain things, but you can vary the performance. What I do is I pull the director aside and I said, okay, you got it. Can I play? Can we play? Is there a time? And I just got off a show where the guy said, yeah, let's play around a little bit, And then I was on a show before that, and the guy goes, no, I can't do it,
Sure.
Yeah. But that's the first thing I'll do is I'll say, and if something happens, if some of my play, some of my change is going to affect the other actor, especially if it's one of the regulars on the show, I go, look, I'm interested in doing this. Is that going to bother you? How's that going to? They go, no, go ahead.
Oh, that's great.
So, but I do always ask. I learned that from being on set with Bochco for 4 years, and knowing that both the words and the demeanor and they actually look for acting values that they put in the script there on camera, sometimes. So, I always ask, but yeah, I mean, that's part of your craft. That's what you want to change it up.
I got to tell you, this was fantastic. And on behalf of myself, Joe Sabatino, and the Actors Reporter and our show interviews, I want to just, Leo Rossi, I want to thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Joseph.
Really appreciate it. All your comments were so super fantastic. So cool stuff.
I appreciate
One Italian to another. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you.
Now I switch to my other Italian friend, and I'll say thank you very much.
No, you surpass yourself.
No, but Peter Onorati, great actor, just a fantastic guy, and seriously, from Cop Rock, you made me feel comfortable to now. No, but really, that was fantastic. So I'll never forget you.
Thanks,
and
Joe.
You're the man, dude. And James Quattrochi, actor, writer, director. Buy his movie, The Nail, the movie.
TheNailTheMovie.com.
And Jamie, thank you. And we all want to say thank you guys very much for watching.
Thank you.
I know, and her name is.
I walk into the room.